Alright, so I had to make a sticker to put next to the camera because I keep looking at the screen, which means I'm looking off that direction if I feel a little bit retarded. But yeah, I use my little heart ones off of here, and I drew a smiley face on one. So yeah. Anyway, I wanted my video to look a little bit more, you know, lifelike. I sound like a boring old droning professor, just, you know, monotone, like, today we will learn adjectives and things. Anyway, well, I wanted to, let y'all know what all I'm up to. I've got, a tour of my office that I'm editing. I will try to get that one ready to go. I do have something I've been working on since the greeting of the channel, which was the first video, which, you know, the video right before this one that's already posted. I had talked about all the things that I wanted to do, mostly in the way of what all you got to do to lay out and start up and get ready to, you know, get your stuff, all your stuff in order to start a YouTube channel. And, sorry, not a YouTube channel, but a business, and pretty much all the operations in order to get writing, art, all that. So, building it from the ground up. Anyway, I made a list. I got bored. Well, I wasn't really just bored, but I was very awake, which was very unusual because most of the time I don't get much sleep, and I go over that in my Stay Inspired, which I probably will redo it so I don't talk about it as much. I seem to always fall back on that, like it's an excuse or something. I need to quit. I don't want to use it as a crutch. But I made a list. Now I'm getting lost. Oh my god. No, I was on the subject of sleep because I skip around a lot. I got a lot of sleep last night. As you can tell, I'm extremely energetic, and I've kind of been like this all day. I kind of got sleepy maybe a couple of times, but for the most part, I've actually been like, woo, let's go, yes. So, the list I had fun with, but it took me quite a bit. And then also, I've been reading this book right here. It's 2K to 10K. Well, it's actually not written out as K, but whatever. You know what I mean. It's written by Rachel Aaron, and I've kind of dabbled in it before, not realizing that that's what I was doing. Basically, one of the things she covers is basically a fast draft. And I didn't realize it for what it was, that I was already doing it at some point, which I've done a couple of times, but I never really thought about it for, this is a technique I can apply to, like, all of my stuff. I've got several different ways of plotting, and sometimes I do stream of conscious, which I would much rather do the plotting, because when I did stream of conscious writing, I would write thousands and thousands of pages for, like, I got up to my 4th or 5th book on all the stuff that I had written, and then all throughout that process, I always found somewhere where I'd have to rewrite or write myself into a corner or whatever. But anyway, she was just talking about a fast draft. She doesn't really go into the whole plotting thing as in depth as she does. Her main thing is to increase your writing productivity and, you know, just basically getting more efficient with your process. So I'm really enjoying this book. You should probably check it out. I got mine off of Amazon. You could probably find it elsewhere, but I think its original version was I can't talk. I'm too hyper. This is a really good example of my usual behavior. I'm either boring and dead, like my other video, or I'm like this, and I talk 90 miles an hour so fast my tongue can't keep up. So, yeah, I'm all over the place. I've been questioned whether or not I'm on crack. I'm not, I promise. I don't do any of that. Don't do drugs, kids. Anyway, yeah, I had to write down short lists so I can cover all this stuff. My mother-in-law did something really, really adorable and sweet. She lives with us. And we didn't expect it. And I kind of didn't realize that it was Easter. But she hid a bunch of Easter eggs around the house. And it was just the cutest thing. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. My husband noticed it first. And he's like, is that an Easter egg? We went into the kitchen because, you know, we got all of our stuff out of our bags, put whatever was rest that we didn't eat into the fridge. and there was an Easter egg sitting in the shelf right by the bread. Actually, it was like kind of on the bread. And then I found another one on a plate, and he found another one across on the shelf thing mess. And then we kept finding them. I was like, all right, biatch, it's on. I'm gonna try not to cuss on this channel very much because I want it to be kind of friendly for everyone. Anyway, I will show you these adorable little eggs. They're so cute. Like, literally, they have my favorite, the blue, but they're so shiny, some of them, and I was like, oh my god! So, yeah, we had a lot of fun. We were racing each other. He actually found more of them than me, even though I was playing around like I did, but he found a lot of them. Then I grabbed those, and then I was like, it's on, let's hunt! But yeah, it turns out she hid 4 dozen of them, and it was, there I go looking at the screen again. Yeah, it's dumb. The smiley face thing is helping, though. I wanted to use this, but it won't stick to my phone. It's so cute. I love owls. Owls are adorable, so are foxes. So, I already covered the Easter eggs and my list for all the business crap. And, I've covered that one. So, basically, one of the things that I am working on currently, I'm about to get into on my handy-dandy computer, is Camp Nano Remo. I recently joined that a couple of weeks ago, thinking, hey, this will give me a push. Yeah, inspiration, despite sleep deprivation. Woo! Yeah, this is the normal me, guys. Most people don't see this unless I'm outside of work or hanging with my chick. My best friend, Melinda. Hi, Melinda. I just said your name on YouTube. What? Me and her are going to make a video, by the way. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Got through watching one of Kate Kavanaugh's videos for her, because she does a lot of vlogging on riding. You guys should check her out because she's pretty cute. Her and her whole group, I actually came across them. I was just looking for other stuff, and I was like, yeah, I might as well look up Camp Nano Remo. And then I found them. And it was pretty cool. So, hey, yeah, I'm going to sit down here. It's already 9:29. I'm going to be exhausted tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and put in some words on it. And, I've already filled out my timesheet. Well, my log for everything that I'm doing. I keep track every day. I went over that in the other video, which is going to come out after this one. So, even though I've gone over it before, it hasn't happened yet for you guys. So, mind. Wait, I can't say that F word. Mind screw. Okay. Anyway, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get back to it, and I will update here in a little bit what I'm doing, where I'm at, and how exhausted I will probably be, which, as I said, I need to stop talking about being tired, but Wait, before I get started, I just realized this looks like a toupee. My hair is freaking ridiculous sometimes. Oh, man. Yeah. I got some fake toupee, guys. Oh, yeah. It's sexy. I just gotta stop and say this before I've even picked up 2 papers and shuffled them and then was like, oh, yeah. I'm a really goofy person most of the time. But I'm also, like, obsessed with organization and straightening things out and making them more efficient, and also getting carried away on multiple tasks and forgetting where I'm at. So, back to the humor thing. A lot of people think I'm very serious all the time, and that I'm only ever serious, and that I'm no fun. I'm ditzy. I'm goofy. I'm very forgetful. Like, literally, my memory is so bad. But, I mean, at least I'm intelligent-ish, so it kind of makes up for it. Yeah, I was goofing off at work one day, and I just about made one girl's brain fall out. Her jaw almost hit the floor like, oh my god, what? It was pretty cool. So, Me and my hubby like to go to Walmart, and one of our things is we almost always try to crack up the cashiers, and we almost always succeed. It's pretty funny. I usually embarrass my mother-in-law just a little bit, and a little bit my hubby too. But our back and forth, it's great. Me and him will nitpick and bicker and stuff, but when we get to being playful and ornery as hell, oh goodness, yes. You better run if you're around us, because you're probably going to get like, oh my god, I don't know these people. You can ask my friends. My timer. This is how I always get into the zone. Because the bell is so annoying. Just go. Most of the time I'll start with 30 minutes. That doesn't always get me, because I'll try to give myself 30 minutes to get started. I'll reread just a little bit, or I'll try to fast draft a little bit, plot it out, reread my plot, whatever I've got going on, and it'll usually buzz. It'll scare the crap out of me the first time, which is okay. It reminds me I need to hurry up and stay and get more focused, and then I'll set it for 30 minutes again. It'll do the same thing again, but by then I'm starting to get more in, and then I go a lot faster as I go. So yeah, I will show you one thing though before I get in, which, yes, I'm procrastinating. I'm the queen of procrastination and a slave of organization. So, and planning and things that fail miraculously. I hope that this is too blurred for you to read. I have a, when I started getting heavily into plotting, I, was rewriting my series that I'm working on. I was calling it The Vampire's Memory Keeper, but I tried to get it published several times. I didn't realize that it was mainly because of how big the book was, and then I got a published author who loves mentoring other authors or writers on Wattpad, and she took a look at the numbers, which I never thought to look at before then. She took a look at the numbers and told me kind of where I was going wrong, usually where the book was dropping off on the readers, but once I was at a certain chapter, usually by then the readers would keep reading. And that's a really good place to test and grow your writing skills and your style. I would really highly recommend it for people who love to write, who are aspiring, and who want to improve, get better, network, and learn from other people who are already in the process. You've got a lot of people there who are sources, and, you know, that's one of my goals eventually, is to become a source, to be able to help other people. So, anyway, all that aside, I had decided to rewrite my entire series for, like, the 12th time, which I'm a perfectionist. Like, if it's not good enough, I'm not putting it out there. Not permanently. I thought it was good enough then, which is why I had it on Wattpad, and I was going to try to get it published. But after the rejections, after research, after, you know, everything that I learned, I realized everything that was wrong with it. And a lot of it, what really made up my mind was realizing it turned out to be more of a chick flick than I wanted it to be. It had so many females in it. I mean, like, it was overloaded with estrogen, guys. It was way too much. So, you know, you get that little complaining little sister, you know, and then your best friends, but they're twins, but they're both female. No. There's too much whining, too much high-pitched squealing, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, no, what? Yeah, so, when I realized it was more of an urban chick flick than a paranormal fantasy, I was like, okay, I am rewriting this. It's going to be the last rewrite, but I went through that first book because one of the things is they don't like a lot of flashbacks and a lot of, you know, novels, because a lot of people don't read them right. A lot of it's overdone. And, you know, it takes away from the pace of the story. It's very important to keep your pace going and not to interrupt the reader and throw them off. And, you know, if they feel like, okay, I'm reading this story, oh, let's go on this side journey. Wait, where was I? That's not what you want. It's okay to just be like, okay, well, here's a little extra information, briefly, shortly. And, you know, the unfortunate part was it was so integral to my story, to my actual book that I was writing, that it had to stay in there. Because my character is, her name was Marie, but I ended up changing it because I had a lot of names that start with M, and that was another thing. You don't want all your characters' names to start with the same letter. I kind of kept that for 3 of the family members, and then 2 of the family members, JJJ, there's John, Gina, and Jamie. I went ahead and kept that, and I went ahead and kept Marissa and, no, actually, I think I changed one of those. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. It was R, Reed, and Relia. Anyway, so, you want to stay away from doing too many flashbacks in most books. Mine was so important, and then whenever I realized that it was confusing the reader, just enough where it would kind of jar them it was a good way, but it was also a bad way. I decided that redoing the story altogether, keeping the key points within it that were all the things that I could not have in there. It was so important to keep it as part of it that I decided to go. Oh, I almost thought I wasn't recording. I was like, oh, don't tell me I did all that and nothing. Okay. Just about had a heart attack. Anyway, it was really important that I kept a lot of the key points because it's going to be a series. I was going to do a trilogy. It ended up way bigger than that. And it's turning into a series. So when I looked at the first book and I started replotting and changed up how I plot and all that, I ended up with at least 5 more books worth of stories out of there because of how much it covered. Now, I know my main character, she is tied soul to soul with what was going to be a 500-year-old vampire. I think he's going to be like 1,000 and something now, but she's tied to an ancient vampire who is at war with both the living and the dead. He is possessed by the dead of his own kind. He is enraged. He's merged with these other 3 souls that are within him, the wraiths. And so he's out for blood. He's killing everyone of his own kind. He's killing everybody of everybody else's kind. He's a madman. And nobody else in the main character's world realizes that, he's real. Or that whole paranormal everything is real. So, I wanted to keep a lot of that. So that's kind of the main master point behind everything. And I don't want to get into any other spoilers. But yes, she is tied soul to soul with him. And you will see that slowly coming to be in the first book. Although the new first book, I decided to kind of focus more on her father. And a lot of her crazy stuff that happens began to unfold earlier in the story than I ever thought, because I thought she was going to be a teenager, like 16, 17 originally, whenever I was originally writing it, because that was about how old I was when I started writing it. I made her a couple of years older than me, and then I ended up surpassing her in age, and then it got kind of weird, but then it felt comfortable again. It's weird when you've had a character with you like half your life. So, I won't give up on the story. It's almost there. But my downside is I overwrite, so I will have a lot of cutting to do. However, though, when I started replotting in this, and I did turn it into a post-apocalypse story. It's a paranormal fantasy. I don't know. There's a tiny bit of sci-fi, but, it's mostly a paranormal fantasy. I ended up doing a specific set of, I can't talk, I swear. I did a specific style of outlining that I love how I developed it a little bit off of other stuff. It works for me really, really well. So I ended up with this little beast, and this thing is 16 pages. I can't really show you too much of the actual plot because I don't want to ruin stuff, but I made scenes. Some of them say scene, and some of them say add. These little colored portions right here. And I have lines on each one, and I have to check them off. Well, I ended up with a bunch of handwritten notes on the extra stuff that I needed to do. But yeah, so far, I have gotten all the way to page 13 out of 16. And I'm almost done. So I'm literally in the last 10% of the story where everything is actually the last quarter of the story. Everything's coming to the crisis point and everything is just about to blow up, and the main character, Nymeria is what her name was changed to. It's about to blow up in her father's face. Everything that's wrong for her is getting worse. He doesn't know how to help her. He's trying to keep his family together. Everything is against him. His guild is turning on him. His brother's turning on him. His allies are turning on him. And he's trying to keep his family safe, trying to keep his daughter alive, healthy. And yet he doesn't really want to believe there's paranormal. So I really love the way this new book is turning out. And I started off with some creatures that were from the beginning of time, when the world split, and they are still active, and then they kind of slowly start not to be, but they are integral to the series, so you can be rest assured they will pop back up. But I am really excited about the project, so I am about to get to it. I'm going to do a fast draft real quick to get back in the zone. I'll kind of skim through this. I've got 20 minutes left. Yes. I'm going to skim through that. I'm going to skim through my little quick plotting again, because some of it changes as I go, which is fine. That is why I plotted the way I did, because I don't mind changing some of the points and what ends up happening. I'm still feeling my way around. I've developed that as far as I could, but as I went, I did find things. I ended up finding plot holes, which is why I had a bunch of handwritten stuff on there, and I've got a lot of stuff to cover to make sure I don't have very many red herrings, which you can look that up if you don't know what it is, or I'll cover it in another video, or, you know, whatever. To each their own. So I will be trying to get some words in on Camp Nano, and I will check back with you in my progress here in a minute. The part where I'm at right now, Dad's gone to Alenhold. It's one of the cities. There's some crap going on there. We got these monks and some other stuff. You got, okay, this is fun. So, you got shards of glass that are infused with light that actually affects electronics. People don't know where they're coming from. They don't know how they work. They can be dangerous, and there's a city called Five Tower that's trying to weaponize them. Then you got John, who is a field doctor in a post-apocalyptic world. There's two main guilds that have a treaty with several of the, like, most of the big cities, except for Five Tower. They've kind of gone off and done their own thing. Five Tower is corrupt. Anyway, so John is part of Black Temple, which is a medical guild. Their deal is they help the weary worn, which is the common people. They deal with illnesses. They deal with disease outbreaks. They have their own warriors. They have some of their own trade people. They pretty much help to keep the peace in the land by keeping the people healthy and giving guidance and stuff like that. Well, a field doctor is one of the really, really high positions, because they go around and they deliver apprentices during the apprentice season. They help to get crap in order, and they also deliver and teach new methods within, you know, all the medicine and stuff. Usually they're some of your most knowledgeable people, and most helpful, and sometimes, in John's case, a little bit, a temper. Yeah, you don't cross him, but he cares a lot. He's very stubborn. Well, then you've got, the Enforcers, which is the Enforcers Alliance. Their group basically is like the police of the land. So they go and they make sure if there's, like, people stepping out of line and attacking people, they usually step in. Well, we've got a new group that pops up in the book that sets everything off. There's the Wolf Cult, Brothers of the Moon, which are their elite. They're kind of cannibals. They don't allow, you know, they don't allow themselves or their members to eat anyone they think is cursed. They usually prefer to run off with children. And they work with Five Tower. They have people that deal with them. So, those are some of your baddies. Then you've got the monks that pop up, and they wear glass chains because among Black Temple, they've got a saying, men and women of the glass chain. You know, that's what they call themselves at times, or how they address each other at times when they're being very respectful of each other. Because with the symbology of the glass chain, everything that everybody does, it's a link in a glass chain, and whenever that one link breaks, it's a very, very fragile thing. If one link breaks, chaos will erupt and people will suffer. So the monks have decided to mock this, and they actually wear glass chains. And they're against Black Temple, but more than anything, they are doing some really, really shady stuff. And so they become pretty integral to this story. John's trying to keep his family safe and trying to keep everyone together, and he's trying to help his daughter, but he doesn't know how, and everything just slowly gets worse and worse. Plus the rain season's coming, and you've got attacks going on that are causing people to take refuge near the posts, you know, where the doctors are stationed, and they're seeking sanctuary from all over, and it gets worse and worse. And so so far it's been a really fun ride, but right now I'm up at a point where John is trying to rescue someone. So everything's turning to crap for him, and I'm looking forward to it, but I've also been kind of dreading it, because I know usually when I get into writing, I take a long time, and I end up not with a lot of sleep. There again, the sleep thing. Woo. You should take a drink every time I talk about being sleepy. You'd be drunk at the end of the video, I promise. I would too if I drank, but I don't, because I'm a nerd who doesn't drink. So, anyway, I'm not ashamed. I'm not a goody two-shoes. I'm just not ashamed.